Final countdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with incredible pleasure, and I've been wanting to get this young lady on here for quite a while, and finally she's available and said yes.
Oh.
So, world, I give you the marvellous, the magical Miss Mecia-Jade Holden. Hello.
Hello, darling. That was very, very splendid of you to... What a lovely intro.
That's all right. Oh, look, and you've just shared it on Facebook. It's just told me.
I have literally got in there the last seconds. Quick.
So, how are you, darling?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. I'm plodding along, and actually quite enjoying getting to connect with different people and speak to different people that I feel like I've got all this time to now, so it's all good. How about you? How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm dallying around and finding little things to occupy myself, like interviewing people. So I can't complain.
I keep saying that. You think you should be a radio presenter?
Oh, I've got a face for radio. Definitely.
You really should. You'd be so good. But then, oh no, you've got no, your face. You could do presenting as well. Good.
Gotcha.
That wasn't a insult.
That's all right. Right. So thanks for joining us, Misha. Right. We'll see you later. Go away now.
That was great. Lovely. 5 seconds.
Yeah. Bye. Wouldn't be the first time 5 seconds in my life. Right. Anyway, so I am going to ask you a series of important questions. So I think the first ones we should go for is we should trek back in time to the early days of very small Misha, smaller than you are now, which is still which is still quite tiny. And we will find out, where did the love of rock begin for Misha? Do tell.
Okay, I actually quite like this because I think this is like a nice story to say for my mum, bless her. My mum's a rocker and a biker.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was young, she used to take me to since I think I was about like 5, she used to literally like bungee strap me to the back of her motorbike. She used to take me out, and even at one point she took me around France on the back of her motorbike. She kind of took me all over, and then she started taking me to bike rallies and stuff as I got older. And it was pretty cool. We got to go to like do you know the Bulldog Bash by the Hells Angels?
I have been there. I've played there actually many moons ago.
Have you?
Yes.
Wicked. I bet that was so fun.
It was with a really bad band that I was standing in for, so it was interesting, to say the least.
Oh, bless you. But I bet still though, like as you know from playing there, the crowd is pretty wicked.
It was awesome. Yeah. Oh, and Anthony says, "Hey, Misha," and Mike too, I guess. Well, same to you, Anthony. And Miss Louise Jane Wood says, "Bulldog Bash."
Bulldog Bash, yeah, man. Oh my God, Louise, yes, we used to go together. So, God, how old was I when I started getting there? Probably about 15, 16, I reckon.
Yeah.
And bands there that you get, as you know, like, well, normally they're absolutely wicked, but I'm sure you're great.
No.
So. Yeah, they used to have some brilliant kind of rock bands there, and then we used to have some ones closer to home. But I just remember growing up and thinking, oh my God, like, I just love to do this. This is just incredible. But the funny thing was, actually, when I was when she started taking me to the Bulldog Bash, I used to sit there when I was really young with my fingers in my ears, going, "Oh, it's too loud. What is this? What is this?"
That's like a recovered gig, but with everyone.
Is it? No. But yeah, then I grew to love it in the end. I think you always try and rebel against your parents. So at first I was like, no, it's not cool to like what your mum likes. It's not cool to like rock. So I went down the whole, I'll say chabby road. But then I found the light at the end of the tunnel, and I came back to rock, and it's kind of where I started really. And it's really cool now because I get to play at some of these rallies and things that my mum took me to when I was young.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
Yeah, she's there and she's like, oh, proud.
Okay, now because obviously I've known you from around the circuit for quite a while, and you've been over here in the studio having a silly karaoke sing song with me. So I don't actually know that much about you. So obviously all the information I'm gathering, I am learning more and more about you as time goes on. So your chavvy streak, Let's delve in. What was the most embarrassing thing you used to listen to in your eyes during your chavvy days?
Akon and like, I mean, Akon to me is actually, I think it's all right, but it sounds a bit smurfy. And Shana Paul. And yeah, I was just a bit of a knob when I was younger. Like now, I would like to say I'm down to earth and I'm just normal, and you know, I don't ever really get embarrassed of a lot. But when I was young, I went down the whole like, yeah, would try and be in with certain people. And I remember my mum, bless her, she just went and got her first ever car. She just passed her driving test, and it was like this old Fiesta. And because I was in with all my chavvy mates and listening to Shana Paul, I was in the back of her car once, and a load of my mates walked past, and I was such a knob, I just ducked down in the back of the car.
Wow.
I know, she still reminds me of it, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, we've all been there. We've all done that whole thing, trying to look cool in front of your mates, and when your mum comes and goes, your dinner's nearly ready. Shut up, Mum.
Yeah, I just feel like so bad now though, because she's actually pretty cool. You know, she was taking me out on her bike and stuff, and I'd be like, oh, you messed my hair up, Mum. Oh. And
are you a biker yourself? Are you a biker
Sorry?
Yourself? Do you ride motorbikes?
Oh, I had a 125.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was, obviously though, you know how small I am.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. There's
so I had
there's plenty of bikes that will sort of be orientated towards the smaller lady.
a monkey bike maybe, or something like that.
Get one of those little mini motos.
Yeah. To be fair, it'd probably be perfect for me. But yeah, so I had like this little custom 125, which is pretty cute. That was with me and Stephen. He put me through my CBT, and he was like, "You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it." And it just turns out that the guys at the test centre here in Colchester reluctantly put me through my CBT and said, "You are so close to not passing, and this is the easiest test in the bike, you know, kind of industry that you will do. You are that bad." I was like, surely I can't be that bad. I've been going on the back of bikes for years. I'll be great at this. Yeah, never ridden one, but I was like, I've been on the back. I'll be all right. And no, it was terrible. So I had it a good few months and dropped it a couple of times. But I'm going to go back to it at some point.
You should. That's all right. I was the same on my CBT. They said, they said basically you cannot fail this. But I decided to actually drive up an embankment by accident.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So luckily they passed us. But I should not have passed. So, and that was, Jesus, God, that was 24 years ago. So, and I've been riding since. So,
you don't look old enough. What are you, 29?
Somebody should have got the Specsavers.
I did the same thing as you. I went kind of like, we were turning left, and I just went straight into this other side of the road, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "I think my bike's broken."
Good recovery.
Yeah, let me try it. I was like, "Yeah, try it. The steering's locked." And he was like, "This is definitely just you. Do you want to try again?" I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll try again." So yeah, I got a reluctant pass as well, but you know,
it will do.
Give it a go.
Pass is a pass.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much you have to bribe the instructor, it's all fine.
We're still here. It's all good.
Yes. Yeah, if you're not dead, you're doing well. Right, I've had a few more messages. Paul Gage. Hey ho, guys. Bloody hell, Mecia. 2 interviews in a week. Go you. Can I get your autograph?
I know. Hey, Paul.
Oh, who else have you been interviewed by?
Out of lockdown and you've not got anything to. You've not been talking for ages, and now it's like, get to talk.
Who have you been interviewed by? Do tell.
So yesterday, you know the Brickies in Norwich?
Yes.
Yeah, they're kind of, Charlie, bless her, she's doing loads there at the moment to, just get like obviously lots of media coverage, because they're kind of saying about the fact that the Brickies is a music venue and not a pub as such. How the venues are going to kind of survive when everything's starting to run up back and normal. So they've been on TV, they've been on the radio. And Charlie's been doing like some interviews kind of weekly with different artists that play down the Brickies as well. So bless her, she's been really busy like every day doing different bits and bobs. So yeah, me and Steve went on yesterday, which was fun to do.
Oh, cool.
It was good. Yeah.
So.
But I see you're doing interviews as well, aren't you? You're busy.
Yeah, I try and do one a week. So and just get on various people. I'm looking at it as a showcasing all the lovely people that I know, trying to showcase their talent to the world. That's my idea.
It's nice, and I love watching yours and Pinto's shows as well. They're really fun. And
yeah, we're going to retitle them "How Not to Play Classic Songs." That's what we're going to call it.
No, you do like plenty of stuff amazingly. So honestly, it's good. It's fun. It's part of it, isn't it? To have your own spin on things. So
oh god, yeah. If we actually rehearsed something, I think we'd have a heart attack.
Yeah. Well, we were saying the other day actually, because I'm sure in Recovered that you don't actually rehearse either. You just literally go out and you bash out. You've got like loads of songs in the bank that you can do. And when you're gigging all the time, you just get you get used to them, didn't you? But when we kind of said the other day, actually, we haven't gigged now for so long, you kind of forget what your kind of repertoire is and how it. I was going through it the other day and thinking, oh my god, I can't remember how that goes. So I think we're probably going to have a practice before we go back out, because we just won't have a clue what we're doing, I think.
No, it's going to be an interesting one. I think when we do finally get back out there, everyone is going to be so rusty. People are going to watch us all and think, why the hell were we waiting for this? Is this all we were looking forward to? We're just going to be absolutely shite.
They'll be like, bring on lockdown. When are you going to send us back home?
Yeah, I'll just go back to watching fucking YouTube. That'll do me.
Yeah, so that's the good thing about it, though, isn't it? Is that people are doing a lot of projects, and I'm enjoying watching people's videos. That's quite nice, because I feel like before, no one really ever had the time to do anything like that and show, oh look, we can do this. And there's some. I loved your guys' video. I thought that was great.
Was that the what did we do? I can't remember. I've slept since then.
I can't remember what it was, and you were like, oh, what was it?
Was it
a good month ago, wasn't it?
Was it Gold by Spandau Ballet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good fun.
And yeah, it was wicked.
You got to dress up and be silly, so that's a tick in my book.
I'd love to do that for us, but we're kind of struggling with equipment and stuff. Steve, do you want to come say hello?
I will. No, go out.
All right.
Is he still half naked? Oh, he's got clothes on. Hi, Steve.
Right.
You're right, mate. And the dog as well.
The dog goes mental.
The dog does, literally, every time. As soon as Steve sees me, the dog's like, no, go away.
It's my puppy. Don't get near my puppy.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
So for everyone earlier that missed out, me and Mike were having a little chat, and Steve was back and forth in his pants, which everyone missed, sadly.
Good job I'm going out, or I'd still be in my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed a cold shower, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I just pretend I had a cold shower before I got in them.
Of course.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's that size. Yes, I know.
Right, go away.
Right, I'm off. Take care of yourself, guys.
See you later, mate. Take care.
Bye. But yeah, we're quite lucky. Obviously, we're living together, so we can jam, and we can, sit and do acoustic stuff and get the PA out, and we can do whatever. It's nice actually to be in lockdown with someone that's in your band. Yeah.
At least, you get some practice in, and you can sort of keep the magic going, so to speak, music-wise.
Yeah, it's good fun. But we're definitely ready to get back out now. And I was saying yesterday that we don't really hear much from Hagrid. Hagrid's, bless him, on high risk. So.
Oh shit! Is he?
He's not. Yeah, he's got asthma quite bad, and he was actually working as deliveries. So he was actually working for the first few weeks of lockdown. Didn't even realise that you weren't supposed to be, and then he had a letter from the NHS, and they were like, "No, you need to stay in.
Yeah, get your ass home."
Yeah, I think he was like, "Okay."
If you insist.
If you insist, I'll just stay at home. So I check on him every now and then and make sure he's alive.
Good.
Yeah, but I think he's actually doing pretty good. So I think, it's bad to say, but I think some people are actually really loving this, aren't they?
I did have a month off, and it was amazing. I got so much done. I got time to do the things I enjoy doing. So in that sense, it was great to have a bit of a holiday, but obviously it doesn't work well in the long run.
No, that's it. Are you missing the gigs and stuff now?
I'm very fortunate that I can do the thing with Simon and still have a bit of a kind of. So I can imagine if I didn't have that, I think yes, I'd probably be going a little bit sort of insane, I think. Yeah. So if I didn't have any kind of musical outlet, I'd struggle.
Yeah. How did you and Simon meet each other then?
Well, Grinder.
Oh, really?
No.
Nice.
Yeah, we met either side of a public toilet cubicle, one of those little holes that you poke your thingy in. No, we
Love it at first sight.
yeah, touching winkies through a glory hole. No,
I get to it every week. It's great.
yeah, exactly. We met through a friend of ours, Jill Turner. We were both standing in for her, and we sort of played the gig together, had a bit of a laugh, and then I think he asked me if I was available to do one of his Mystery Mayhem things.
Okay.
And sort of did a couple of those, and sort of we became sort of fairly good friends. And then since the lockdown and everything, and sort of around then we've become sort of really, really close friends. He's just an incredible human being. He's
awesome, isn't he? Yeah, I've only really seen, because we play at the Crown quite a lot, and is that where I see your gigs quite a lot, doesn't it? But yeah, I've never got to see Simon play live, but I just kind of got to watch him through your shows, really, and I'm like, wow, yeah, so cool. And now I know why everyone, whenever we go to the Crown, they're always like, oh, you must come and see Pinto, and I'm like, I'm really trying, but when you're gigging all the time, you just don't get them nights off, do you?
No, he's like, not only is he a phenomenally talented musician and composer and everything, but he's one of the most generous, genuine human beings I've ever met. He will help anybody. He's just such a humble individual as well. And that's why everyone loves him so much. He comes to the end of the night, he's trying to pack up, and the entire pub are trying to talk to him. So that's why he's always the last to leave.
But that's so nice, though. That's so refreshing, isn't it? And that, I read something the other day, and it said you can be the best musician in the world, but if you lack character, or you lack that kind of that personality that people like, it's kind of like anything, really, isn't it? You could be the best at your job, but you've got to have that likability. Yeah. And it's hard to be in a band and have the right level of everything, like confidence. People want you to be confident but not too confident, and all these kind of different elements that play a part. And to have people genuinely really love you like they do Simon, that's must be a really, really nice guy. So
well, it's the same for you though, isn't it? Because I think one of the main reasons obviously people come and see Beautiful Dangerous is not only are you a superb singer, but you've got the personality to go with it. You really interact with your fans and your friends who come to the gig. So again, it's you've got much more of a personal connection with your audience, and I think that goes a long way, especially sort of in covers bands where we are just the entertainment for the evening. So you've got to sort of get in their pockets and become their best mate during the gig. I think 100%, like, hit the nail on the head. There's always another band that are out there that will do it better than what we're doing it, or that everyone's doing it. We're doing covers at the end of the day. Yeah. And I'm just thankful that there's so many great cover bands out there. I'm so thankful that we started off playing to empty pubs all the time, and it got to the point of, okay, well, maybe we're just really shit. Then remember those days.
You were?
Remember those days.
Oh God, it must have been like Recovered are always packed, so that must have been.
We Recovered have been going a lot. Recovered have probably been going longer than you've been alive.
No.
Yeah, they were going since probably 1998, 99.
Well, I would have been 8 or 9, but Christ.
Yeah, I've been with them probably around 13 to 15 years.
Wow, I had no idea. I really didn't, because I think for me it was when I started coming, when I moved to Colchester, that I started seeing you guys down the Bull, and I was like, who are these? And got friends with Josh, and then would come and see. I'd be like, I'm going to see Josh's band. So that was kind of how I knew about you guys. But I was one of those people that was always in the habit of going to see the bands that I knew. Yeah. And you know, people can get in those habits because you can get all doled up for a night out and then you can go out and see a different band, and sometimes it's not your kind of cup of tea. So yeah, I hadn't, even though I used to go and watch a lot of live music, I was a bit guilty of that really. But no, as soon as I saw you guys, and then like I've seen you whenever I've been off lately, I've been down to a couple of your bank holiday things, haven't I? I'm like, I love you guys.
Yes, you have. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun. But yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that there's always someone out there. There's always a band that, you know, are going to do it better, and it's just comes down to being likable. Because I've gone to see bands before, and gone up to speak to them at the end, and you could have the best night, but if someone turns around to you and is just absolute bit of an arse,
yeah,
that's me done with them really. I'm like, okay, well, you're still a person, you know.
Yeah.
So
ego is not a nice thing, is it, when in a musician?
No, that's it. And it's hard getting it right though. Like, it's hard to be. When I first started, I had no confidence at all.
This is something I was going to ask, actually. I was going to ask how your stagecraft has progressed over the years, and how you found, what were you like when you first started in the biz?
That was awful. It's terrible.
Really?
I used to stand there behind my mic, and like, so Steve and that used to go, you know, you can move around a bit, and I'd be like, yeah, I will. And I was just so petrified, looking around the whole room, thinking, they're not enjoying it. Oh my god. And I was just hated it. And then I thought to myself, do you know what? Someone said to me, you've got to fake it till you make it. You've got to believe in yourself, otherwise no one else will. And I thought, that's actually, yeah, I'm going to believe that I'm the best, even though I'm not. And I did. And before you know it, that kind of mentality just starts sinking in, and you start feeling like that, even though it's not kind of real. I then started owning the stage more and being more confident, and the band has made me so much more confident. Like, I wouldn't be half of who I am now if it wasn't the band. Like, it's just taught me so much. I mean, like, again, like we do some really big bike do's and stuff like that, and I'm like the little itty bitty midget that goes out and sorts all the business with these big hairy bikers, and I'm like, hello, business lady. So, and the boys will be like hiding behind me, don't tell them I said that, but they will.
Oh, it's intimidating when you've got lots of alpha, like a ton of, we've done a couple of biker shows, and it was hilarious because they'd had like one of those sort of international biker meets. So, you know, all the different groups came from all over the world, all over Europe, and all came to this one clubhouse. And pretty much half the night, all the bikers just stood on separate tables, just eyeing each other. So it's just like a massive sort of like eye engaging cock swinging contest who can just sit there and man each other out. And then sort of, if you can break that down and actually sort of show, guys, it's fine, it's all right. You big chunky men wearing leather.
Nicest people are, when you get to know them, they're like, we did a bike do recently, and we were all like really petrified of. We were like, oh god, you know, it just looked a bit dodge. Yeah. And I think Will turned up and he said, well, it was nice knowing you all. And it was, you know, we were all a bit like, oh, and then we ended up getting like teas brought out to us and free food, and they couldn't do enough for us. They wouldn't let us lift anything, and they did some raffle tickets, and I was just like, oh, you guys are so friendly. And you know, it was totally not what you'd expect, but I think the biking quite a lot now anyway. Like 20 years ago, when you had all the like outlaws, Hells Angels and things, and a lot of the kind of rivalries, but now it's all quite friendly, isn't it, wherever you go?
Yeah, I don't think there's sort of, the biker politics aren't quite, cause I've never understood it all. It's all very silly, isn't it? It's all just another sort of case of gang tribal warfare. You're like, guys, come on, really?
I know, it is silly. When we used to go out with my mum, she used to say, don't ever get in a bike club, because it's just nice to just be mutual with everyone and go to whatever bike do's you want to do. So it's nice now that being in a band, we get to play lots of different rallies and see lots of different bike clubs, and I've made a lot of friends from when I was younger doing it. So yeah, it's nice, but it's definitely shaped me into who I was, into who I am, sorry. Like, I was just such a little mouse, and can't shut me up now, can you?
No, it's great. It makes interviewing so easy. Do you think, though, because I've noticed this, that if ever one of the things about being a good front person is, obviously, as you said, you know, owning the stage and moving around. Did you ever watch, and I noticed this as well, like sometimes if I look back at footage of me and I'm like, I'm really not doing much at all. And you have to do so much on stage to actually make it look like you're doing anything. You can understand why people like Bruce Dickinson run around all the time on stage, and otherwise you look boring as shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel like you're really doing something. You feel like, oh, that looked really cool. But then you look at it back and you're like, I barely even did anything there.
Yeah.
Everything you do has to be so eccentric and over the top. Like, look at me. And it's a bit kind of, you have to step into that. You know, you're going to be having a really crap day, but you've still got to get up on stage and be like, hiya, you know, when you get on there.
Game face on. Here we go.
Across the stage and backflip. No, we don't do that really. But, yeah, it does. I can't even watch some of my old gigs. I don't know how you do it, because I'm just like, oh, no.
No, I know. You're lucky, so you've got hair, so you can do the full-on rock swinging. You could just stand there and swing your hair around, and that looks great for a rock band. I'm bald. I have sat there and sort of like done that. Get a bit of a windmill going on. But yeah, if you start swinging your head around when you're bald, you just look like an overactive clitoris, and it just looks really stupid.
That's brilliant. I love that.
A dancing baked bean. So
we should put some glow sticks on or something and turn out all the lights and do like a little show.
This is why I like wearing hats, because at least then it can sort of give me an excuse. I can't headbang everyone because my hat will fall off. That's my excuse.
Yeah. Well, I've taken recently, a couple of years ago, I realised when I sing, I just get so hot when I'm singing. I think when I actually came to yours, I was the same. I was like, Mike, I'm sweating, I need a fan. And I now can't gig without a fan. Even in the middle of winter, we did a gig for the army in like January, and outside, and I still had to have a fan because I just get so, I don't know if it's the belting out or the jumping around, but
it's probably it's the adrenaline. And you're very active on stage as well, so you're doing a bit of a workout at the same time.
Yeah, I had a Fitbit on recently when I did one of my last gigs, and it said I did like 3.5 miles or something, just walking on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Because do you ever come away from a gig and you're like starving hungry and you think, God, why am I so hungry after gigging? It is literally the amount of energy you use when you're jumping around and stomping back and forth. You just have no idea, but that's where the calories are going. It's a great workout.
Oh yeah, you could always murder a dirty burger or something after a gig. You just after all that, I just want to fill my belly with crap.
Yeah, I know. Out of McDonald's or something we always have on the way back is
it's a band tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You kind of feel, and I can't eat before I gig because I feel. But if I like to treat myself afterwards, so whenever we're gigging somewhere, I'm like, where's the nearest Mackie D's? It's not the best for your diet gigging, but
Well, there's nothing of you, so I'm sure eating a few burgers is not going to hurt you, is it?
Because McDonald's has been closed.
Well, you're not gigging, so you don't have to worry about it.
This is true.
So, with your singing, like we were talking a little bit about this before we started. So, not only is your state... Oh, we've got a few comments first. Paul Gage says, definitely she's a lovely person, always chats and makes you feel like part of the show. Aww.
Thank you, Paul. It's so nice because we have like such nice people that come to see us. And they are like literally become all such good friends. So it's like different venues you go to. It's like different families, each places. It's really nice. But Paul, actually, I don't know if you know Paul. He's put together...
I think so.
Like a rock... Do you know him? No?
I know the name. This is the thing. I'm quite bad with names, faces I can recognise. So I may have met him at shows and various things.
Yeah, he's a lovely fella, and a lot of him and some other guys from Ipswich have put together like this rock family group on Facebook.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just been loads of people on there, and they've been, kind of just helping each other out. And Paul's been DJing and keeping everyone. Yeah, it's just been really good for everyone. So it's been nice that everyone. I think there's like 700 and something people on there now, which is pretty cool.
That's everybody in Ipswich.
I think they're kind of all over, they're all based in Ipswich, but there's people like all over that are joining now. I think it's going to probably be quite a big and ongoing thing. I think he's going to have his work cut out now. He'll go back to work and be like, I've got to keep this rock family group up.
Somebody's created a monster, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Sue Paradine. I've only met Mecia once, but she seems such a lovely person with a cracking voice and amazing stage presence.
Oh, thank you, Sue. That's really nice of you. It's so nice to hear, because what we were saying earlier about not being sure and not having the confidence, and I love it when I get any nice compliment. I'm like, oh, thank you. So
it sort of gives you that reassurance that you haven't done a terrible job.
Yeah,
which is
you're not
always
going to
nice.
be for everyone, are you? Like I always say, you could be the juiciest of peaches, but there's always someone that don't like peaches.
Mm-hmm.
And that I can accept, but it's nice when you've got people that do like what you do. It's always nice bit of reassurance.
So how long have you actually been singing in bands?
Well, when I was younger, I started when I was about 17, 18. I did a couple of years in one band. And then after that kind of broke up, I didn't get into anything for a good few years, to be honest. I was just kind of, it got quite difficult with it, because there was a lot of band politics and it put me off, really. It was just, and it kind of went a bit sad at the end, and I thought, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
And it took, and they were all my best mates too, so I kind of had a bit of a break from it and really missed it. But in that time I went out and just saw loads of live music, and it was just great. Had a lovely time. And then Steve was in Rocks Off, and they asked me to audition for like a project on the side of Rocks Off. And I just was like, but I've really not got much experience. I've done one band for probably 20 gigs in, I don't know, a year and a half. We really didn't gig a lot.
Yeah.
So this was kind of my first proper band, and the first 2 years was a bit of, we had lots of different lineups. We didn't get a great name for ourselves. It was a bit of a finding our feet. But then I kind of, we got a solid lineup, and we all really gelled, the four of us. And like now I'd class this as kind of like the only proper band that I've really been in, because I'd kind of say with like regular gigging and stuff, that's when you're in a proper band. But now I do that. Like, I've been getting a lot of depth work and things too, and more comes from it, so it's been good.
So would you say your voice has changed since the early days? Has your voice changed much over the years? And sort of like technique wise, have you sort of managed to change the way you sing? Do you find you've improved? How's it gone for you?
Well, it's like we were saying earlier, weren't we? Like how I can't really compare to how from years ago, because I wasn't gigging as much. I've never been as busy.
Yeah.
So I've never had anything, doing 4 gigs in a weekend. I've never known. I mean, we did 5 once, and it was just like, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'll try. Yeah. And we did it. I was back to work the next day, and I was like, I'm on the phone. It's great. I've got no voice. So I'd say that my voice has definitely improved from when I was younger in a band, because I feel it's stronger. I feel I can hit different notes and bring out different techniques. But at the same time, there's so much I want to improve. I still can't. I would still love to do 5 gigs a weekend and walk away and go, owned it, still got my voice, but that's still not there. So
it is really, it is so difficult, and I can't imagine. I think this is why, I don't know if you agree with this, but when it's that thing when, like, for example, bands go from being, if say you're a touring band and you go from being a support band to a headline band, a support band may have half an hour, 45-minute set, something like that. Then when you go on to doing, this is what people don't appreciate, what it's like being in a covers band. You are doing what a headline band does. You are doing several hours a night, which several hours of singing is a lot, a hell of a lot. And
hell of a lot.
Yeah, no wonder why a lot of these singers burn out, especially rock singers, when they, also they produce these like really incredible studio albums where they're singing stuff that you can't imagine, and then they have to go out and gig it. That's why they lose their voices. Yeah,
I just don't get it. Like, bands that go out and they gig every night, and I think, how the hell, especially like, there's a lot of kind of screamo bands. Like, I listen to a lot of Bullet, and they're, at one point they were gigging every night in Vegas, and you think, well, hang on, you scream and you sing, you've got so many techniques you've got to use there. Lizzie Hale, like, she's my biggest idol, and I don't think I've ever seen any post of her that, sometimes she's a bit more croaky than others, but she can get away with it because she's doing the rock stuff and she's doing it heavy.
Yeah.
Never had to be one of them singers that's like, oh, I've had to cancel because I've lost my voice. And I think, how are you doing this? Like,
Yeah.
But then I did read an article of hers that said that she doesn't drink when she gigs now. And she hydrates herself like 24 hours before she'll gig. So she's constantly to hydrate for the next day. And as well as that, she eats such a strict diet. She says, like, you know, you just need as much protein as you can get. If you've not been looking after your body, she's like, it affects you in every single way, and especially with singing, which I never really thought about diet, to be honest.
No, it's one that I can understand. You can't eat. So some people say you can't have dairy. You can't have sort of alcohol is bad. Smoking is bad. Chocolate, things like that as well. But I sort of get to that happy medium where you say, okay, I enjoy singing, but I enjoy eating certain things and drinking certain things too.
I like beer, yeah.
Yeah, would you really want... It's like, yeah, okay, you could be an impeccable singer who sings a sort of pristine and perfect every night, but has no fun outside of that.
Exactly, and that's actually a really good point. A couple of years ago, stopped caring about that, and people will probably say, yeah, we know, like, because we've found some clips of you. But there just came a point where I was like, people they have more fun if you just enjoy it and you don't actually take it too seriously. We're not trying to be like we're performing at the bloody O2. We're at a pub. You know, and the more I just have fun and don't care, the more everyone else seems to have fun and just get on board with it. So, you know, if I could sing absolutely pitch perfect whilst having fun, then bloody brilliant. But, you know, it's going to be sometimes a little bit ropey, but people still seem to have a good time. And I think fun is the main part of it, really. When people have come, you know, had a hard week at work and they want to go down the pub and enjoy themselves, not see someone stood there because they're so worried about it being pitch perfect. So
sounds like me. You could, but think, as you say, you can always tell when a singer's something's not quite right with them because they get that slightly haunted, panicky look where your like voice isn't quite right, and then you're having to voice preserve for the whole night. And every time you're going for a note that you think you're not going to hit, you're doing this. Or you do that, you sing and go, just in case it doesn't work.
We almost like become, you know, actors and actresses in this job as well, don't we? Because you could be thinking so many things, but you have to portray something else. So it's, you learn a lot of skills in being in a cover band.
Yes, you do. Not only how to pretend you're having a great time when inside you're crying and weeping and your voice is falling apart. I think that's the worst. I think I described it to someone as, look, when you get to an end of a gig and you know that you've sung like shit, and people go, "Oh yeah, it sounded fine. You sounded great," and you said, "Well, it's like running a marathon. You can run a marathon well, or you can sprain your ankle and run the marathon, still get to the end, but it hurt every step of the way, and your time is shit."
Yeah, I hear you on that. But people are just nice to you at the end of the day, or they're at that point when they don't care. But you think, you don't know how much damage this is doing me right now. And then they video it and put it up on Facebook the next day as well, which you're like super grateful for.
Yeah, there's nothing you like more than when you sound like an absolute bag of spanners and someone just goes, yeah, there it is. Oh, we had this great gig last night, and you just watch it and you want to crawl into your own shoe and die. Remove
tag. But yeah, I think the last time that happened to me was at the Bull, and I don't know why, but I think we kept having problems where just if you can't hear yourself properly, I always get a rubbish voice by the end of the night, and even people were going like, you know, the audience were going, we'll pay you more money like from our pockets to carry on playing, and like the guys behind the bar were like, carry on, and I'm like, guys, I'm done, I can't. So I had to literally be such a little, you know, diva and walk off stage because I was like, I can't. The more I stand here and say no, it's like you've got like all these people going more, and you're like, I've just done 5 more, guys, it's not gonna happen, there's gonna be nothing left. But yeah, I had to do a whole like mic drop out. See, I'm going.
Oh shit.
I know. But it's nice. It's a really nice thing that people are wanting you to do that. But unless you have done it yourself, I don't think people really understand sometimes what it's like to physically have nothing coming out. It's quite panicky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, shit, nothing there.
No, and I think there's more. It's more embarrassing, I think, being a singer because a voice is far more personal than like a guitar or drums and everything. If you play like if you play a wrong chord or you screw up a drum beat or something, it's forgivable. But if you go for a high note, an important note, and my classic one is always the end note of Bat Out of Hell, that big high note. When that goes wrong, that is the epitome of just want to shoot yourself in the head. You go, look at that! And you're like, and you can see everyone goes, oh, like that. Yeah, like you farted in church. It's that kind of look. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah, we have it. We finished with normally like we'll do a Guns N' Roses medley, and I'm like, I'm so glad we saved this to the end of the night.
Oh God.
And it's like at the end, it's like hey, like trying to get right up to the end and trying to belt it, and then normally an encore is something heavy, like I don't know, Killing in the Name of or something. It's like fuck yeah, you think. Well, if it weren't gone, it is now.
Yeah.
So
You just end up sounding like choking Yoda.
Oh my god, maybe we should just dress as Yoda. That would be like, maybe people would learn
Please
to love
do.
it.
If we're gigging again for Halloween, please get some big old green ears on.
And what you can be Chewy?
I have enough chest hair that I don't even need to put on an outfit. I am bald but hairy everywhere else. Oh, by the way, we've had Claire Elizabeth says, when I grow up, I want to be Mecia.
Oh, I love you, Claire Bear.
Ah, there is much love in the chat room for you today.
You what? Sorry, lots of love.
Yeah, there's lots of love in the chat for you.
That's really nice. It is really nice. Steve was saying to me the other day, actually, he said, if we didn't do this band, he said, you think of all the people that we wouldn't have met and, from all over, and you're so grateful for it. And you just think it's just a covers band. And then you think, actually, like, I know that when I used to go and see covers bands a lot, I used to really, really, really enjoy myself. And so it's really cool that we've made so many friends from it now. And I like.
Do you find when you go and see other covers bands, and I think we all do this to a degree, do you judge, or I think there's several things we do. We kind of judge a bit, and we also get the feeling of, I want to go up and have a go.
I can hear the dog snoring, by the way. He's getting quite noisy now. I totally might get the whole, like, I start off with, I'm on a night off. I don't want to think about, I just want to enjoy myself. And then by the end of it, I'm normally drunk, headbanging, and I'm like, I want to be up there.
Yeah, go and let me sing. I don't want to ask, but I want you to ask me.
Yeah. Or I'm that idiot that's the one in the audience normally like going, I'm a singer, Like,
oh, you're not, are you?
I just can't stand when you get those though, can you? Like,
no.
That's me when I'm drinking.
No, there's like occasionally I find that's like playing Russian roulette. We've done it before where someone said, "Oh, I'm a singer," and you get them up, and they have just been. We had one guy who said he sang in a Pink Floyd tribute band. So I thought, oh, okay, cool, and he showed me a couple of like pictures on his phone. He said, "Could I come up and sing a song?" So like, okay, yeah, cool, why not? So we came up and just did The Wall, one of the easiest songs to sing, and he just sounded like a football hooligan. It was just, I'm like, and Matt was just looking at me like in sheer terror. And
what did you do? How did you come off?
Yeah, exactly. You can't just stop the song and just go, sorry, you shit, fuck off.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, does it?
No, and like, as fun as that, I like to try, instead of giving someone a whole song now, I'll like test them with a line, let's see. And then I'll be like, oh shit, no, retract. And then it sometimes becomes the mic war. Mine,
I like the way they give sort of certain coded signals to try and get you to, yeah, that's one. Or if the microphone, and where's my microphone? 1 second. We need a phone. Where is it? What have I done with it? Ah, there it is. Right. So yeah. So say that the singer is over there, and they'll do this. They'll try and get around the microphone, and they're like, just to try and get a sneaky little bit in there. I know that did look like something else, but
that's funny. No, just I don't know why. It reminded me of like Donkey in Shrek when he's like 60.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's the worst. You just want to go like a boop, just boop them out of the way. I can't stand that. Or just drop kick. No, you're not having it.
Have you ever had like a really bad stage invasion where someone's just become a real asshole?
Yeah, I've got a few times. I've had some right asses on stage, and at first I'd be like, ha 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 ha. And it's funny trying to be nice, and after a while I'd just be like, will you fuck off? You know, get off my stage. But now I think because we play a lot at our venues, they the people that are like that we play at, they won't stand for it now. As soon as anyone's up, they're like, off you get, love, come on, off you get. So it's quite nice. Have you had it?
We've had several. I think we've talked about them on streams before. Where by the way, I just want to thank everybody who's so I've been so engrossed in the chat, I haven't realised all the people who've liked the stream and everything. So thank you to everyone who's liked the stream. That's very, very kind of you. Yeah, we've had Matt's been smashed in the eye with his microphone by a hen party who just knocked into his mic and hit him in the face. A woman came up on stage, was trying to grab the microphone off me, and I was sort of singing, and she tried to grab it. I pulled it, she let go, and it smacked me in my teeth.
That's my biggest fear. I've had it hit me hard, but not hard enough to knock it out. But my fear is just going donk and having nothing left.
Yeah, and we've had people just who, and the trouble is once they start getting in your face, they feel, and especially if you're talking through the microphone, they feel they can't back down, so they just go on and on and on until I've done it sometimes where you just say, look guys, we're going to stop the show, and until this person someone removes this guy, we're not going to carry on, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, I know. Or just muting them, and then them looking at you like,
what's wrong with it?
Well, really, mate?
Yeah.
But I also have some great times. I love some of the videos of you like at some weddings and stuff when you've been mooned.
Oh, that was so funny. It's happened, oddly enough, it's happened a couple of times. So yeah, we had that one. There were a bunch.
I feel like the girls are the daring ones out there. Where's the guys doing this sort of stuff?
I think when girls do it, it's cool. If guys do it, they get arrested.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we had a team of rugby players, rugby playing women, and contrary to what your stereotypical image would be, they were all actually rather good-looking ladies. And nice. So we got mooned by one of them. Another gig, Matt pretty much got flashed by one woman's front, back, top, bottom, everything pretty much.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a job that has its perks.
Yeah, I think you've got it on one of them on video, haven't you? I just remember seeing it and just being like, looked a bloody good night, that. Yeah.
Do you find for Beautiful Dangerous, are your crowd do you find they're good looking, or what is your demographic?
They're all beautiful, obviously.
Of course.
I'm trying to think, like, to be honest, they're all people I've known all over the years, but like we kind of play to a lot of the same people, but they vary in different areas. Like when we play up Essex way, like in Hornchurch, and I don't even know how or why they book us in there, to be honest, because everyone is so like towy.
Yeah.
And then we turn up when we're like playing Toxicity and stuff like that, and they're like looking around the room like, what is this? And you just think, why are we here? But the guys seem to really like it. They're like, oh yeah, this is actually really good. And the girls are like done up to their knees in their stilettos and everything, like, no, don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like most of our crowd are like rockers and just let go, have fun, which is nice. That's what we want, really.
Random question. Speaking of women with mouths that look like they've been slapped with a fish, what is your impression of injections in the lips and all that kind of stuff? This is taken into account that each to their own, all that.
Yeah, like I kind of think I'm toying with the idea, because some of my friends have got like actually really natural stuff done, and I'm like, do you know what? Because I model. And I'm compared to models all the time that have got huge, great natural lips and faces that are like, it's hard being compared and airbrushed all the time. So it does make you think, well, should I? And I've got, friends that have got it and they look gorgeous. But then I do know some people that have had it, and I would say it's a bit more questionable.
Yeah.
I just think it's, you just got to do your research, haven't you? But some people just go overboard with things.
Actually, you'd be a good person to ask, actually, sort of being a model and everything, as you said, being compared to all these people. Because I don't know whether... Do you think the whole lips thing came around from... it didn't seem to be on the radar until Angelina Jolie hit sort of, you know, big celebrity status. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, I want lips that are bigger than my entire face.
Oh, yeah, totally. And then especially because now she's got, like, since she did Maleficent as well, she's got, like, these really lovely high cheekbones. And they seem to be, like, a really big thing now. Like, people are getting, like, pointed cheekbones and all this. But I remember, when Angelina Jolie kind of started to become who she is now, and everyone was like, I must have lips like that. And, yeah, I mean... In a way, I'd have rather have kind of had my prime 20 years ago, so I wouldn't have had to feel the pressure that you do now. I think it must be super hard to be a teenage girl particularly.
Yeah.
Now, because everyone's starting to look the same.
Well, that's the weird thing. That's what I don't understand. Because surely, why, if you're a model and you're in sort of that kind of industry, surely the idea of like variety is the spice of life, and the fact that people like all different kind of things, having everyone look exactly the same. How does that benefit anybody? Because it just means that everyone's a clone. Yeah. And there's no one with any unique personality or unique image then.
No, especially not like when you can look at people like that are on, like, I don't even know if Towie or whatever is still going, but a lot of people on there, they do look exactly the same. Nose job, lips job, cheeks, everything is done. And they do. You just think, well, your faces are just what is real, what is left that is real. And now it's even really acceptable for guys to get stuff done too. Not that it shouldn't be, but probably 10 years ago, if a guy had said like, I have Botox and filler, we'd have probably been like, all right.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, do what you need to do, because I think we just live in such a world now where everyone wants to look a certain way and be stereotyped pretty. It's hard to actually be a natural self and feel comfortable with it for a lot of people, I think.
And that's the really, really sad thing. The fact that that people are scared to look natural anymore. Yeah. But the thing is, it's weird how the concept of what people consider beautiful, how it changes over the years. Because the fact is that when you look at these people who've had all this work and they say, oh, they look younger, they don't. What they actually look is an older person trying to look younger, because when you're stretched in every direction possible and things are plumped up and all this kind of thing, you're looking like all the other people who are having that done, but you're not looking really young, or you haven't knocked years off you. Your disguise just looks better, or your disguise is more accomplished. So, and
there's a line, isn't there? I think there's just so many people that I've seen that you walk around, that have walked around in Colchester, and I think that is not a good look. Absolutely not a good look. And it's sad because I don't think you can really undo it once you've...
No, especially you do... There's got to be some kind of... Because, I mean, I know people who've had a lot of work done and they have become addicted to it, because I think that's the nature of that kind of... Especially if you work in an industry like you do, where there's a lot of pressure to look certain ways and all this kind of stuff. And it's not a healthy industry, is it, mentally, to work in?
It's actually really not. But you know, it's funny you say that, because a couple of months ago, one of my best friends is a model, and she's a really successful model and absolutely stunning. And I had to say to her, I hope you don't mind, but I've unfollowed you on social media. Ooh. And she was like, what do you mean you've unfollowed me? And I said, it just wasn't doing me any good. Like, I was comparing myself to you all the time. I was waking up in the morning and logging on and seeing how beautiful you look with your abs and lovely big lips and all these things that I didn't have. And I felt shit. And when you're feeling low and you see things like that, or how beautiful these other people look all the time, it can make you feel rubbish, and to the point of not wanting to even look at social media. So I'm really at a good place with my life now, where I can feel that I only follow things that make me feel good.
I think we all have to do that to a degree, though, don't we? There's so much out there that can have a negative influence, so you have to kind of tailor it to suit what you know your own head can deal with.
Yeah, and it was just hard saying that to someone I'm really close with, because I'm so proud of her and I know she's gorgeous. But it sometimes isn't what you need to see, when we're all human and we all get jealous and we all wish we looked like other people.
Why is that? Why do you think that is, though? Like for you, for example, like you're a model, you're well sort of seen as a very attractive individual. So why do you? Yeah, but this is
really attractive.
What do you mean, like this?
Beauts.
Yeah. But no, I mean, the thing, again, when you look at how beauty is perceived by people, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's like art. Some people will find something attractive. This is what makes me laugh at when people talk about porn. Like, people think that all porn is, for example, is American women with bleached blonde hair and fake tits screaming at the top of their head and saying all these various things. If you do know about porn genuinely, you'll see that people have so many different kinks and things they enjoy. And when the reality of human beings is we like all sorts of different things. Yes. We don't all just like the same thing. So why is it?
Why do we all try and be like the same?
Yeah.
Look the same, but always jealous of other people. And I think it just comes with age, for one. And experience, and just getting to that point of being accepting yourself without trying to go too spiritual and too deep. But
no, go for it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I was at a really kind of point where I was constantly like, I wish I looked like this, I wish I looked like that, and you know, modeling next to. Sometimes I'd have to shoot with like 10 other stunning girls, and I'd be like, oh my god, they can't put me next to her, you know. But actually now, it's again with like singing. Like, I know that I might not be the best singer, best looking, whatever, but I actually kind of become content with me. So what I am is unique to me. No one else has got that anyway.
Well, that's the thing, though. All of us are unique. That's the problem. That's what I've never understood. Why all of us have our. If we're all the same, then we just all merge into one, and there's no individuality there. The whole point of an individual is that people come to see you. They'll like if they're interested in your modelling stuff, you'll have a certain look. You know, you go for sort of the blue-eyed, innocent, sort of naughty girl next door, I suppose, would be your sort of look, isn't it? So if you were plastered up and, you know, sort of lips swallowing your whole head and eyes pulled round to the back of your skull, and you wouldn't be you anymore.
No, and that's actually like a lot of people that when I shoot for the Daily Star, a lot of people will message me and go, we don't like it, which is quite cute. I mean, I always love going to the Daily Star because I just sit in hair and makeup for like an hour and a half, and I just sit and chill and drink tea, and it's like I feel like a little celebrity. I walk in and get a dressing gown and a cup of tea, and I just sit there having everything done, and I'm like, this is so lovely. And I've met some just people again, like from kind of Towie and stuff like that have been shooting there, or like Love Island or whatever, which I don't really follow any of it, but it's cool to be around these people and be in that industry. I didn't even really ever mean to get into it, so it's quite cool.
Yeah.
But when the shoot only ever lasts about 10 minutes, and I really enjoy it. It's a really lovely shoot. The photographer's a woman, and she always says like, oh, you look so pretty or so beautiful, and she's very kind of gives you lots of confidence. It's a nice day. And then whenever the pictures come out, they just airbrush you so much.
I know.
And they just and it ends up looking like someone completely different. You know, you've been in hair and makeup for like almost 2 hours, and then they've airbrushed you. It's like, what did you actually even need me for, really? Like, my eyes?
Yeah. And even those, they probably tinted and contrasted and...
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there will be a kind of resurgence for more of a natural element to things, because I know there is that, again, going back to the porn thing, there is the whole natural amateur thing is very, very popular because it is real people. It's not staged. It's not scripted. We don't need a storyline. We really, really don't.
Exactly. No, we don't. No.
Like, oh yeah, you're a plumber and you've come in to fix the pipes. Look at the size of your wrench. Whoopee. You know, all that kind of bollocks. But
I don't But for some reason, there always is a storyline. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, but again, I think there is a deep inherent thing in people that they do like natural, and they do want that genuine sort of connection of a human being and a human being. But I think we're just bombarded so much with all the fake crap that we sort of get washed up with it, and then sort of down the line you realise that I've seen it with like when talking back to your sort of chavvy days, and you used to see like these bunch of chav guys hanging around in their cars, and all the girlfriends look exactly the same. Or I'd known guys who they break up with one girl, go out with another girl, and she would just be, you wouldn't be able to tell her from the previous one.
Yeah.
But then they might meet someone who's different to that, and that's the one that has more of an impact, because, and they're really confused. Or, I don't understand why I fancy this girl. She's not this genetic clone that all the others are. It's like, because she's individual, because she's unique.
Yeah, I mean, one of my guy friends said to me the other day actually that a lot of girls on Instagram are all starting to look the same, and
it's boring.
Actually, yeah, like especially, you know, it's hard now for younger girls. But I just sometimes think like if I had kids, I do panic. Like, I think I just want to go back to like olden days of giving them like a yogurt pot and a bit of string and tell them that's the only communication device there is.
Yeah. Here's a stick. There's a piece of poo in the garden. Just go and poke it for a little while and throw it at each other. That's fine.
Exactly. That's fine. Hours of fun.
Yeah.
Hours.
There's a tree. Go and get up it.
Yeah, but it freaks you out because it's hard enough for girls. It's hard enough for me, but then I don't know if it's just because I'm in the modelling industry. But there is always people out there like different stuff. You know, I'm not going to be for everyone, but then at the same time, people can go and watch stuff online for free.
Yeah.
Yet they buy my content, and I'm like, well, why? I don't really know, but they do. But I just think people like people, and people warm to personalities. And
yes, absolutely.
Like with your show, like I love watching your show because you guys make me laugh. You know.
Well, it's certainly not the talent. Nobody comes like that for that.
Oh God. And the talent, I love hearing you guys, but you just have a great time and you totally relax and have a nice time, and that's kind of one of the reasons I watch it, is because you're likable people.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that makes a big difference. No matter what industry you are in, it's having that affable nature that people feel that they can connect to, because anyone can look at, say, models are a dime a dozen. There are many, many beautiful women in the world. You're never going to know them, and you just see image after image after image after image. But if they've got something like a unique spark, that will be the thing that will draw people in. And again, it can be anything. This is, as you said, the problem with especially young girls these days. To see a young girl who hasn't put a photo up without a filter, where her skin is just completely smooth, she looks like an alien.
Yeah. I mean, lately I've been guilty of that actually on Instagram. I found a really nice filter, and I do like it, but I try and post like non-filtered ones when I put a picture up or whatever, and even I've posted some, you know, just to show like this is what I look like when I'm having a really, really bad day and stuff, just to, again, like I think it just shows people that social media is so hard, and so many times I've wanted to come off it, but I can't because of the band. Like, I run the band, and if I'm not doing that, you know, if I deactivate my account, nothing's going to get done.
Same for me I came off Facebook, my personal one, just because I'd sort of had enough of the world being horrible to each other. But I have to still keep my sort of artist page on there because it's such a useful tool, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's like, you know, for anything, a pub, they want to know what your Facebook is, or you know, the venues, or even people forget about you if you're not topical.
Yeah.
So I came off for a bit before. I think it was about a year ago, and I came off for about 3 days. And when I thought, right, okay, I've had my break, I'll go back on 3 days. And,
that'll do.
Yeah, I know, I'm a new woman. And I went back on, and I had to like reactivate everything and like link myself again with the Beautiful Dangerous page, and it was such a palaver. And I just thought, right, I can't do that anymore. But I would absolutely love to come off social media just for a break, just because I think it does everyone good every now and then, even if it is only for 3 days. Yeah. Just to get out of the habit of checking things and you know, scrolling through rubbish a lot of the time. But then it has got its beautiful points as well, and that you make friends and you make connections, and you know, like this rock family group and stuff, that there's so much to be thankful for.
Yeah.
But I have a lockdown, or a lot of the kind of, everyone's now like politicians and experts at life. It's just a bit like, will everyone calm down a little bit, please?
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, that's one of the, the reasons I came off. I was just, you've got people sort of with good intentions, but then you've got people who are trying to upstage them, or people who believe they're morally superior, people virtue signalling left, right and centre, jumping on bandwagons, anything to just be shitty to each other.
Yeah.
But so then you've got the great side of where you're good friends and you can just all have a giggle and be in touch with people across the world. It's a fantastic thing, but unfortunately you just see the bad side of human nature as well, which can be pretty shit.
It's hard. It teaches you really to hold your tongue, doesn't it? Because I remember when I first got on social media and I would react to everything and be like a little jackrabbit. And now I'm quite the opposite. I will read something and I'll think, I think they're going to regret putting that, you know. And I just try not to get involved in literally anything and just use it as a positive thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully just make people laugh or inform them about a gig or share something stupid. Because I think that's what we really need it for, to be honest. I don't think anyone needs more opinions and debates. But
no.
What can you do?
We've had a Taylor Griffin Marr said, yay for porn.
Go on, Taylor.
Fly the flag. And Barney Holmes said, loving the content, guys. Real meaningful stuff. Ah.
Barney, it was actually, we were the ones like talking about Insta and stuff, having some good chats about Insta. But then we're like always on it. We're our own worst enemies, like putting content on Instagram and always saying that, you know, it's great being on there and it's great being kind of in demand, but at the same time it's hard.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard.
It's weird, the whole idea that the fact like you can, for an example, you can be an influencer on YouTube or Instagram and your entire income, revenue all revolves around that content of what you put out to people. So if you make one false step, your entire business empire can come crashing down and you can be wiped out in
100%.
Yeah.
So careful. Yeah. So careful. That's why I try and start up literally everything and just put stupid stuff on, to be honest. So that hopefully like no one takes you seriously. Now and then I will put something a bit meaningful up and then I regret it the next day. But then I think that's what makes us human.
Yeah.
To show some, I think it's okay to show our weaknesses, but I don't like to give my opinions on stuff. I just don't think we've all got our opinions, but we all have to accept that we're never going to all agree on them. So unless you want to walk away from it feeling like shit, just don't do it. You know?
That's just the attitude of human beings, isn't it? They've got to be right. They've got to be seen to be on the side of right, so that the world can. It makes you laugh. You get someone. The first thing that you'll notice, like on any social media, is the willingness of people to just tear each other down for no reason at all. So, like, for example, you could put something silly up, like while the whole Black Lives Matter thing was still going on, and people were sort of cancelling shows and things in solidarity with it, and you're like, fair enough, okay, if that's what you want to do, you want to do. And then, but there were people who were just sort of going about their daily life and put something silly up, and then people would tear into them. Why are you putting this kind of thing up when there's all this going on in the world? So, well, that's true, but there's also.
And I was I was putting a lot of stuff up actually over that time, and it wasn't that I wasn't mindful of it, because I really, really am, and sometimes it just upsets me quite a lot, and I have to just do it just to try and keep things at a positive, happy level. And I know the world isn't that way, but for me, I need social media sometimes to be a place that I want to go to, not that I go to and just like, ugh. So I have to sometimes. People might think I'm not being very mindful, and hopefully it's not the way it comes across. But I have to try and just keep putting up. I put up random crap on mine, and people are probably like, "What are you doing? Like, take it down." But it makes me laugh. So if it makes me laugh, one person, and I'm happy.
Well, the thing is, what people tend to forget is that all around the world, bad shit is happening to bad people all the time. There are still starving people in Africa. There were still people in Syria getting bombed and shot and people being oppressed. There are still teenage girls in Cambodia being kidnapped by gangs and raped. All this is going on. But people, if we spent our whole lives just being serious all the time, we would go nuts. We have to have some kind of outlet to try and compensate for all the horrors that go on in the world. And that's perfectly normal.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I try and I kind of have to try and use my social media as well. I don't know if you do the same, but to create awareness about these kind of things, but also not to just, you know, a lot of my friends are animal activists, and I am a massive animal lover. I'm a veggie, have been for 4 years, but I know that some of them, bless their hearts, and they're only doing it out of, you know, being good people, are sharing a lot of sad animal content. And, you know, you want to create awareness and we want to change things in the world, but it is also about trying to make people happy and you know, trying to live your life and not be consumed by it all. So it's just having that balance, I think.
Exactly.
And not being consumed by it. But like you say, there's stuff going on, bad stuff everywhere. So it is hard to kind of it was awful, the things that have been going on now, but you have to kind of remember that a lot of it is happening everywhere, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Paul Gage has just put a really good point, and I think that sums it up quite nicely. It was important for me with Rock Family, no politics and no COVID related content. I created it as a safe space. And that is what people need in life, because you need to have that outlet. That's why people maybe watch films. That's why people listen to music. People need to be taken out of reality for a while to stay sane.
Yeah, we really do. Otherwise, it just becomes a place where you just don't want to be. And I haven't wanted to be on a lot of social media recently. Getting to the point where you want to take people off your friends, and you think, oh, they haven't actually, like, you know, I don't know their reasons for saying these things, and I don't want to just be on people that unfriends people. Yeah. But you start to develop feelings, and, you know, against these people when they're saying stuff. But I just wish that people could just keep it a little bit more light-hearted towards each other and respect everyone's opinions. You know, it just can be a really dark place at times. Yeah. But then I just keep trying to concentrate on the positive of it. Yeah.
No, and there are a lot of sort of negative sounding things that we're saying here, but there are also the plus sides to it, where we meet fantastic people, and a lot of them you met through gigs, through Facebook, and you still keep in contact via those mediums. So I think that there's the balance. That if you can tailor...
Such good people, and keeping in contact with them. Like, I've been really lucky, actually, because a lot of people... I think I've spoken to more people in lockdown than I have ever.
Yeah.
People like Steve will come home from work and he'll be like, "What you done?" And I'll be like, "I had about 10 phone calls."
Wow.
And not that many, but it's nice just having a catch up with someone that you haven't spoke to for a year, and realizing like how much you miss them, and you know, getting to kind of just have that time and go, I haven't got to rush around, because I haven't got to rush to a gig, I haven't got to rush to work, I can actually take time to listen to you and get to know what you've been up to. It's just been really refreshing, and that's again, you know, really good to have social media for, because otherwise we wouldn't have been keeping in touch with all these people.
No. So. God, yeah, could you imagine? People think sort of they're isolated. Could you imagine whether people in countries before this, when you had all the different outbreaks and people were seriously isolated? Mm-hmm. We can't even in our what we class our darkest hour now, we still can't comprehend what real isolation is, because of the joys of technical wizardry.
I know. You think when we tell, like, you know, grandkids and stuff about this sort of thing, and they'll be like, well, it weren't really that hard, was it, really? You could just FaceTime your mates and sit at home and drink and watch telly and do YouTube videos and live streams. And actually, I think I've met loads more musicians doing this, because I normally don't have time. So that's been really nice. I've been getting to chat with just so many people. I'm actually really, really, I think you have to just use this time as a positive. And I hope I'd like to come away from this and say I took from lockdown what I could, and just used it to my most. And I feel like feeling pretty good and ready to hopefully go back and smash it when the world resumes.
The thing is that you're probably not in life going to get a period of time where you can, you know, I mean, how long have you been furloughed? Are you?
I've been furloughed since the beginning of March, I think it was. No, it's about the middle of March.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've not even literally been doing any work from home, so it's just been kind of like modelling content, singing, learning some instruments, and that's kind of really, and spending a lot of time with my dog. That's about it, to be honest. Reading, doing, and yoga, like things that I've always wanted to do, but I never got time. So
yeah, and you probably, chances are, when things obviously eventually get back to normal, the chances of getting that kind of time again is going to be very, very slim. So yeah, I think if you're in that position, make the most of it and do something positive with it.
Definitely. I've worked since I was when I was like 13, I used to work as a cleaner and go to school. Yeah. And then I still did some work, and then I, did all that, and then I went straight into full-time work, and then it's been full-time work and gigs.
God, so you haven't stopped, have you?
I haven't stopped, and that's why people always say,
"Oh, where have you gone?" Oh. There you are. Hello.
People say to me quite a lot, you go on a lot of holidays, and I'm like, yeah, I do, but it's because I don't stop. So to be honest, like this actually has just been so refreshing to actually just have a bit of a break and stop and just breathe and spend some quality time with my dog, just enjoy life again. I miss people so much, but I think actually this is the first time in my life since I was 13 years old that I've stopped. And I always used to get ill, Mike, all the time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Do you remember seeing me all the time going, I've lost my voice, and I'd be like, again, and people would go, well, again, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I don't know, but I'm on the phones all day at work, and then I'm singing every weekend, and then burning the candle, and it makes you then realise, okay, go back, we won't do as much, maybe.
Here's hoping. we can only hope.
Are you going to go back full pout, or are you going to maybe kind of ease back in, or
what, gig-wise? Gig-wise, do you mean? Yeah. I am going to be very, very cautious when it goes back, because I know a lot of people are wanting places to reopen. I know a lot of people are wanting to get straight back out in there. But if you look through history and at various epidemics, pandemics, the pattern is these things, you can get a first wave, then people think everything's okay, they go straight out, ignite a second wave, can be more devastating than the first. So it's got to be done sensibly. And so I live and sort of help look after my mum. She's in her 70s. I can't afford to get something that I could potentially pass on to her.
No,
and
definitely not.
Unfortunately, gig venues are going to be a hive and haven for this kind of thing. So I'm going to have to really sort of be seeing what's going on in the world before I can go out and gig again.
I think as well, though, that it's going to be, venues they're going to need to pack a venue to be able to pay a band. And if they can't do that, then they're not going to be able to pay a band. So I think realistically, pubs and that will open, but then it's going to be a while until they can actually afford entertainment and start filling up the venues again anyway. Yeah. So even though life might start to gradually resume, I think it'll be a while till bands are back in full action.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, which, I mean, it sucks for us, but at the same time, I would rather baby steps than no steps.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to be sensible, otherwise too many people have lost their lives already who didn't need to.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. So it's just, at the end of the day, we've got the rest of our lives, hopefully, to gig and to hug one another. Yes. So
there will be, there's going to be so much cuddling, I think, after this is over. So
I'm going to be like a mug. I'm going to be hugging everybody. Well, I'm not big enough probably to be a hugging a mug, am I?
No,
hug on a leg.
Yeah, I was going to say you were like, when you see people like hugging trees, you were like,
yeah, that's just me on Hagrid's leg.
Yeah, I've missed you up there.
I miss you so much, Hagrid. Be like, kiss off, Hobbit.
Right, my darling. Do you know we have been talking for an hour and 20 minutes?
Shut up. We have not.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, I just sounded really acid. Shut up, Mike.
Shut up. What?
Oh, that's gone really quick. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, darling. So lovely to see you and hear you and see how you're getting on. So
yeah, thanks And thanks for getting me on, and look forward to watching your future shows.
Well, you might want to raise the bar of what you consider enjoyment.
No, I love watching you and Si, and yeah, like they're doing. I think they're just giving a lot of people a lot of light and fun and something regular that they can look forward to. So
yeah, we're like a healthy bowel movement, nice and regular, and something you can depend on.
What more can you want in life right now?
Exactly.
Apart from a healthy bowel movement?
So thank you to everyone who've tuned in, all the people who've commented and all the people who've liked the streams. Lovely to have you with us. And of course, thank you to the marvellous Mecia for your time. It's been a pleasure, darling.
And you, darling, take care, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.
And you too. All the best. Tatty bye.
Bye.